Yeah. So the Himalayan ranges, the second one. Okay, so when we talk about these Himalayan ranges, right, they are again divided into three. And these Himalayan ranges are said to be a series of parallel ranges. Okay, the Himalayan ranges are said to be a series of parallel ranges separated by deep gorges. So these are the gorges, these are the ranges. Okay, gorge, extended valley, V-shaped structure between the mountains is called as the valley, guys. V-shaped structure between the mountains is called valley. If the valley is extending down, it is called gorge. Right? So the Himalayan ranges, right, are parallel ranges are separated by the deep valleys and gorges, guys. Okay, and the southern slopes of all these parallel ranges, southern slopes, the slopes which are facing India, right, they are steep, right, and the northern slopes are, they are not very steep, guys, right, they are gentle. Southern slopes are steep, but the northern slopes are gentle. Okay, so this is the general view of the Himalayan ranges, and the Himalayan ranges are also divided into three, right? We'll be talking about this. A, the Shivaliks, guys. The Shivalik mountains, right? The Shivaliks are also called as the outer Himalayas. Okay, they are also called as the outer Himalayas, and they are extending for 2400 kilometers. Shivaliks are also extending for 2400 kilometers from the Potwar Plateau, guys. To Brahmaputra. 2400 kilometers from Potwar Plateau, right near Rawalpindi in Pakistan, guys. From there to the Brahmaputra Gorge for 2400 kilometers. Continuously, this is the general word used in the textbooks, guys. They say that the Shivaliks are running, extending for 2400 kilometers continuously from the Potwar Plateau in Rawalpindi, Pakistan to Brahmaputra Gorge, guys. But there was a prelims question. Okay, there was a prelims question, and the question said that the Shivaliks are breached by 80 to 90 kilometers gap. So there is a gap of 80 to 90 kilometers present within the Shivaliks, and that gap is being created by two of the rivers, right, the Teesta and Raidak. So Teesta and the Raidak rivers are originating in Sikkim, right? So they have created the valleys, and the valleys have eroded the Shivaliks to an extent of 80 to 90 kilometers. This was our prelims question, guys, right? And when we talk about the Shivaliks, they were not the original mountains created, guys, or they are not the original mountains formed. Okay, the Shivaliks are not the original mountains formed, guys. Actually, the Shivaliks are the last to be formed. Okay, so after the Greater Himalayas and the Middle Himalayas, the Shivaliks came into existence, right? So suppose if this is the any slope, guys, any slope, and from the slope you have thrown any pebble, right, or a big rock. What happened? The rock will come and it will be settling here somewhere after it reaches the plain. Okay, so what happened? All the debris, all the rocks and all the kachra which originated in the higher Himalayas or the upper Himalayas that came down along with the flow of the water and all, right, and it got stuck here at the bottom of the higher Himalayas, all the kachra guys, right, then it got lithified, it got solidified, right, and after solidification they formed the mountains. So the Shivaliks are not the original mountains, right, they are the sediments got lithified, the sediments of the upper Himalayas or the higher Himalayas which were brought down by the rivers, they got settled and lithified, means they got solidified to form the mountains. So Shivaliks are not the mountains which are created of orogeny, they are the lithification of the sediments. Okay guys, yeah, so like this is the side view guys, I will be showing you from the top view, right. So these were the greater Himalayas, okay, and these were the middle Himalayas, right, and these were the Shivaliks, they are continuous, right. So these were the Himalayas, sorry, Shivaliks. So these were the Shivaliks, these are the higher Himalayas, in between you will be having the middle Himalayas, right. So they were the last to be formed because all the kachra came down and they got lithified. So what happened, these Shivaliks started obstructing the water, okay, so they got lithified, but the rivers are still coming and the streams are still coming from the higher Himalayas, right. So they obstructed the water coming from the higher Himalayas guys, right. So I will be drawing here so that you can understand it in a better manner guys, a little bit bigger. So this is the water now and these are the Shivaliks, okay. So the water was stored to the north of Shivaliks, right, and then what happened, at the bottom you will be having the sediments stored, because for the Shivaliks to form, the bigger sediments, the boulders, the rocks have crumbled down and they got lithified to form the Shivaliks. But later when the river comes, the river will be getting only the finer sediments. So the finer sediments started settling here to the north of the Shivaliks, right. So when the sediments started settling here, what happened, the water started rising up. When the water started rising up, the water has breached the Shivaliks here and there. The water came out of the Shivaliks here and there, okay. So the gap of 80 to 90 kilometers created by the Teesta and Raidak is like that only, right, and in the other places very small gaps have been created, right. So when the water is breached out, what left behind, the sediments, the finer sediments in the lakes, right, because the lake formation has taken place, right, because of the Shivaliks the lake formation has taken place. When the water breached out, the lake sediments got stagnated there, right, and this was our prelims question guys. The lake sediments or the fine sediments found in the lakes are called as lacustrine sediments. Lacustrine, Lacustrine, lacustrine sediments, the lake sediments guys, right. So these lake sediments, in general geographical terms they are called as the lacustrine sediments, but in India we are calling them as the dunes. Dehradun, Patli Dun, Chaukamba, etc. are the examples of these lacustrine sediments which are present to the north of shivaliks. And because they are the sediments, fine sediments brought by the rivers, they are highly fertile. So the dunes are the most fertile areas within the Himalayas, guys. Okay, in the western Himalayas, they are called as the dunes. In the eastern Himalayas, they are called as the duars. D-U-A-R-S, duars. The Darjeeling duars. Okay, so this is the dunes and the duars are one and the same, and both of them are nothing but the lacustrine depositions which are present towards the northern sides of the shivaliks, guys. And shivaliks are not the original mountains, they are the depositions brought by the rivers from the upper Himalayas. They got lithified. Like, I'll be giving you one normal example, guys, right, where you can understand this concept of lithification very easily, right. In your room corner, guys, wherever the room which you are staying, right, in that corners of the room, if you are not brooming it properly, right, the fine sediment, fine kachra will be getting deposited there, right. And after 1 week or 10 days, if you are trying to take it out with the jhadu or the broom, guys, it will not come, right. It will be getting solidified. You have to poke with a stick, then only it will be coming, guys. So the fine sediment, if it is not disturbed for 1 week or 10 days, it will be getting solidified, right. So all the kachra, the big boulders, sand, right, small gravels, everything which has rumbled down from the bigger Himalayas or the higher Himalayas, right, they got deposited at the base of the Himalayas, right, they got deposited at the base of the Himalayas, and they are untouched for several millennia, guys. So automatically what happened? They got solidified to form the shivaliks. This is related to the shivaliks, guys. So they are called as the dunes or the duars, and the depositions of the lakes are called as the what? Lacustrine depositions. Okay, and next we will be talking about the middle Himalayas, guys. The middle Himalayas. So after shivaliks, B, middle Himalayas. The middle Himalayas are also called as the Himachals or the lesser Himalayas. The middle Himalayas are also called as the Himachals or the lesser Himalayas, right. And if you see my diagram, guys, you should appreciate that the middle Himalayas are non-continuous, right. They are non-continuous and they are forming an intricate system of mountain ranges, guys. Intricate system. If these two mountains are coming from this side, this mountain will be coming from this side. So they are intricately present, which means lots of empty spaces are present between the mountain ranges. So the middle Himalayas represent an intricate system of mountain ranges, right. And the average elevation of the middle Himalayas, I forgot to tell about the average elevation of the shivaliks, guys. It is only 1500 meters to 2000 meters. Shivaliks only 15 to 2000 meters, whereas the middle Himalayas average elevation is 3500 to 4500 meters. Okay, 3500 to 4500 meters, guys. That is the average elevation of the middle Himalayas, right. But there are some of the peaks whose elevations are more than 5000 meters also. More than 5000 meters also present, guys. But average is 3500 to 4500, right. And the middle Himalayas are said to be most human friendly Himalayas, guys. The middle Himalayas are said to be the most human friendly Himalayas because all the hill stations, right, all the tourist spots which are present in the Himalayas are present in the middle Himalayas only, guys. For example, the Shimla, right, the Darjeeling, Nainital, okay, Manali, Kulu, and your dream destination. What is your dream destination? Huh? Mussoorie, guys. LBS NAA, Lal Bahadur Shastri National Academy of or for administration, that is present in Mussoorie. So all these hill stations and the tourist spots are present in the Middle Himalayas itself, guys. Okay, and some of the valleys are present here between the to the north of the Shivaliks. That which means to the north of Shivaliks means they are the part and parcel of the Middle Himalayas only, guys. So what are these valleys present? The famous valley of Kashmir, Vale of Kashmir.